we had a client that was getting audited. They were in an audit with again, that's a Microsoft example. We'll probably start talking about some other vendors here in a little bit, but it's another Microsoft example. And this is one of my, first early on clients. And I remember very direct communication. We'd done an email blast out, said, "Hey, if you're getting audited, we can help you." And I got a response that was, "Prove it, call me right now," right? With a phone number. And so anyways, I called this gentleman up, and he'd literally just walked out of an audit meeting, and where he was told that they owed a little over $10 million. And they'd been fighting this audit for almost a year and a half at this point. And he's like, "We know we don't owe this, but we just can't figure out how to prove otherwise." Right. And so, long story short, we went in and helped them inside of 6 weeks, take that from 10 million to $750,000.
6 weeks, reduced
6 weeks.
10 million to 750,000.
750,000. Yeah. And back then, like, it was a really manual thing. Like, if you've ever seen a license position from any of these vendors, I mean, there's these spreadsheets that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of rows of data, and these customers get confused and not sure even where to start. And this was a large organization. I mean, they have 100,000 plus employees. And when I started looking at it, I knew what I needed to do was really dive in and look at that data and figure out, okay, where are the assumptions? Where are the bad assumptions? Where is the data just wrong? And so I remember literally I was like going to a conference. I remember literally sitting in the back of a taxi, going to an Oracle Open World conference and going through, 500,000 rows of Active Directory manually to find duplicate users and things like that. Right. And so it really, that's where it really solidified for me. Right, was look at the results that we got, how quickly we were able to do it, taking this data-centric approach, really understanding the data itself. But where it really cemented was when they phoned me 4 weeks later and said, "Mike, we're getting audited by Adobe now. Can you come in and defend us through this Adobe audit?" And I was like, at the time, I was only Microsoft. And I remember saying, "I can spell Adobe. I don't know anything I don't know anything about their licensing, all of that sort of stuff." And the client said, "Mike, no, you don't understand. That process that you just went through with Microsoft is what we need and what we want. What you don't know about Adobe is 10 times more than what we don't know about Adobe. And we want that process. Come and run that process again." And we did the same thing with Adobe, same thing with Adobe. And that's when I knew I was onto something.